Bench. It's your host, Jabari. Joining me on the other line, as usual, is Xavi. What up, X?
What up? Still live from the 305.
Well, we're taping this on Thursday, April 14th. And we just witnessed one of the greatest moments, in my opinion, in NBA history. And usually, we start off with a little, mindless banter, a little babble. But I had to get right into this talk. What did we see last night?
Greatness. That's what it was last night. Greatness. We saw the last game of the shooting guard, aka the prototype chucker, the one, the only. Kobe Bean, give me the ball, I'ma shoot it no matter where, Bryant.
No matter where, and shoot he did. 50 field goal attempts for the Mamba, acting like young Metro, because he ain't trust his teammates, so he's shooting.
Hey, I don't understand. Like, these guys, they get in, like, they will be right in front of the rim, and they're still trying to throw the ball back to Kobe, even when Kobe ain't looking for the ball. My thing is, y'all know he gonna shoot. You better get your points.
Were you surprised when you heard Byron Scott say, I think it was yesterday, during the morning shoot-arounds, that he was expecting Kobe to shoot about 40 times, like he dropped it casually?
I was saying that Kobe gonna get 30 points on 30 shots. I was saying he going 30 for 30 on his last game. He was like, double up.
ESPN 30 for 30, the Kobe Bryant edition.
They ain't got enough footage for all the shots he took.
That's a 6-part documentary, 3 hours apiece. So it's going to be a National Geographic series.
But my thing with last night, and I was watching it with some friends after a meeting, one of them was asking, like, are they letting him score, seeing that it's his last game? And at first I was like, maybe they might let him get a couple of easy ones. But then the announcer said, hey, Utah win this day in the playoffs. I was like, no, I ain't care about Kobe. I tried to let Kobe out. Maybe that's just my ego. Maybe that's me being a hater. Kobe, you could score 20 points and my team win. I ain't trying to hear all about Kobe and then man in the playoffs.
I think by the time this game was played, it was already decided because my horrible Houston Rockets secured the 8th spot. And I think if they had won and Houston had won, they would have had the same record. But Houston won the season tiebreaker, so they would have been 8th still. Meaning Houston would have been 8th still, and Utah would have been 9th. But to carry on your point, no, they definitely were not letting him score. Some of these shots were ridiculous. I'm talking about 3 and 4 head fakes, defenders draped all over him, up fake, crossover, step back, split the defense. It was ridiculous. It was really a vintage performance from the Black Mamba, from the Bean.
Yep.
And it was really incredible. I enjoyed every moment of it. I really predicted that this was going to happen. Not that he was going to score 60. Don't get me wrong. But on the other side, we had, the Epic Warriors game, which was a blowout by probably the midway through the second quarter with Curry going crazy.
Yeah, that game wasn't interesting.
Yeah, that was a wash. But I predicted they were going to blow him out early. And then I also figured that the Lakers game would have been close. However, I didn't expect it to be so epic. This was like a storybook ending. Like, nobody could have planned this. And honestly, if I heard like an old guy talking about this 40 years ago, with, Oscar Robertson or somebody, I probably would have thought that he was over-exaggerating how epic the night was. But trust me, we got the tapes, we got the receipts to show. That was an epic performance by the Bean.
Now, this is the thing. I think this is the second best way he could have ended his career. I'm still a believer in that. The best way Kobe could have ended his career was when he tore his Achilles in Oakland, couldn't walk. Then he was like, you know what? F it. He got up, walked from the bench, hit his 2 free throws, and went back on the bench to sit down. That would have been the most gangster way for him to go.
It's crazy, right?
Can't walk and he hit these free throws.
Yeah, but it's crazy that you actually bring that up. even though we never spoke about this, that game wasn't in Oakland. It was actually in Atlanta, and I was at that game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was actually at that game. It was
So you jinx Kobe?
Yes. The fall of Mamba is my fault. Y'all can hit me up, blaming me. I'll accept all that blame, just like I'll accept all the blame that I'll take for West Indies when that triple-double, no assist. Oh, that's back-to-back episodes referencing that. I'll accept all the blame that I took with that for jinxing them in episode 1. However, back to Kobe. So I was actually at that game. I think it was sometime in March as well. And it was in Atlanta. I was there. It was filled with Lakers fans. It was a crazy experience because the Lakers started off really cold, really lethargic. That was a team, the 82-0 team of Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, etc., etc. The team that was supposed to go undefeated during the regular season and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good game. I think Kobe dropped 20 points in the third quarter. Just hot. Just got hot. And at the end of the game, he shot a fadeaway, I think it was from the right side, landing on Deshaun Stevenson's foot, tore his Achilles, and shot those free throws, as you mentioned, gangster as ever. So I actually saw the fall of Kobe Bryant. It was a surreal experience to be in the house. The crowd was electric. The atmosphere was euphoric. When Kobe was going ham in the third quarter, dropping 20 points, everybody was getting up shouting MVP. Even people in the Hawks jerseys.
No. That was the one before. The one I'm talking about was against the Warriors when he tore his Achilles tendon. He was passing over. Yeah, that was the one when...
Oh, again. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that was the one when he was supposed to just walk away because it was the second time in what... He did the Atlanta one in March. The Achilles tendon one was like
the
January.
The following year.
Yeah, like 2 times in 1 year. Well, less than a year.
Yeah, less than 12 months.
He was supposed to walk away. But that was supposed to be it.
Yeah, but even when he came back, he was never the same. So I believe after that first one in Atlanta, that I witnessed, that was the
downward spiral.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that he should have hung it up from there. Because we've seen that, through the years that Achilles injuries have been kind of like the nail in the coffin for all the players, whether it be in the NFL or in the NBA. But people believed in the Mamba, and he was always one to fight through injuries. I mean, we could have a whole podcast about Kobe Bryant injuries. It's really amazing. I remember one year I was watching Lisa Salters talk on the sidelines and talking about how Kobe had actually changed his shooting form because he had broke, I think it was his index finger in the 2007 season or 2008 season, and just how much of a warrior he was. And we saw that last night. Not a Golden State Warrior, but a regular warrior, like an old school 300, Ananias and the Brave 300 kind of warrior.
But this is the thing. We get into that point where I don't speak about it while a player is still playing in Kobe's legacy. And I can't place Kobe as yet. I do know the 2 players, the 2 guards I have before him are Magic and Jordan. Jordan isn't a small forward to me. So now is time for me to evaluate, is he the 3rd best? And I don't think I'll declare that yet. But right now, he is the leading candidate to be the 3rd best guard in NBA history. Because you talk about any other player, you could talk about the efficiency, you could talk about championships, all these stuff. When you bring up all these other arguments, these guys didn't stick around the same way Kobe stuck around. Kobe came into LA. LA was decent. He got good. LA got good. They had Shaq, lost Shaq. LA went bad. He still continued the same play. Got Powell, Bynum, developed. Derek Fisher came back. These guys. So they had another one with championships.
Back to back. Like Jordan 96, 97.
Lost those guys. So my thing, the judgment of Kobe Bryant is going to be a little difficult for some people because they won't be able to separate this love affair with him. In that, when they had Magic Johnson, they were always winning. When they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they were always winning. Like the Lakers, up until this time, the Lakers missed the playoffs maybe like 5 times in like their life. So people can have this affiliation with Kobe, even though Kobe isn't really that much of a people person. Like some of the stuff you hear Kobe say, you start doubting. Like I think I really want to be friends with this dude.
Yo,
this dude say he ain't think he got friends. Like
he doesn't. Maybe
he
older.
ain't got nothing else to do.
But he's a
besides
crackhead.
play basketball and be a father to his kids. And Denver, Colorado.
let's
Hotels.
don't even talk about that. Put on my Laker jersey, then I'll go rape white number 8. But it's crazy. That's one of my major takeaways from this whole Kobe Bryant love affair tour. Anybody who listens to this, right, and you're more than a nominal basketball fan, you would know that Kobe Bryant was by far the most hated player in any arena outside of the decision LeBron that year. And that was only 1 year. But for a solid 8 to 10 year period, the most hated and despised player. I mean, you could look at Sports Nation when they do the maps with all the states answer to see who's the most hated player. All the states showed yellow, as in purple and gold, as in Kobe Bean Bryant, number 24. He was the most hated player and he liked it that way. He was a villain. I remember yesterday I saw the commercial because Nike was milking this, right? So they brought out 700 commercials in the last week. And there was one where everybody was screaming at him, Kobe, you suck. Kobe this, that, and the third. Kobe, you're a rapist. Kobe, you're a shot chucker. And he blocked it out and then pointed at everybody like in the orchestra type way. And everybody started singing. It was funny. And that's exactly what he portrayed throughout his career. He loved to be hated. He literally used to go into arenas thinking, I'm going to make these fans hate me today. And it poured over into his personal life in terms of in the relationships with his teammates, which weren't as, peachy as peachy as everybody else would make them seem out to be. And I think it's because he emulated Michael.
I don't even think it poured over from his sports life to personal. I think it personal poured over into the sports.
Yeah, maybe I got it switched around. And Michael Jordan was pretty much the same way, even though people don't talk about it now, right?
But nigga Jesus.
Yeah, Steve Kerr, who worships the ground that John walks on, always talks positively about him as being the greatest. Remember? Steve Kerr, John broke his nose at one point because they got into a fight in practice. He punched him. Now that's not, you might call that a little shiesty, you might call that a little shady, but it's true. And it's something when you get to that level of apex dominance, where you get to the level of hyper competitiveness that all you can see is W's and you don't care who or what's in your way, whether it be your own teammates, whether it be the coach, whether it be the organization. And that was the major difference to me between Kobe and Magic, who I agree is the second best after Michael, in that Magic used to magnify his teammates' greatness. He was always a natural leader. I believe Kobe had to learn this, just like John did. So it was a learning curve. I believe Magic had that in him all the time, and he magnified his teammates to the point where they wanted to play for him, and he made them way better. But it's Mamba out, and it was a good run, a great run. 50 shots for the Mamba. 50 shots.
Yes. It was a good run, and it's a one that I've seen all my life. So, Mamba out. We're moving on to the next generation, because he's done. Paul Pierce gonna be calling it quits shortly. Tim Duncan.
Paul Pierce announced his retirement.
Paul Pierce better, cause ain't like he doing nothing with the Clippers. When the check's still clearing at the bank, you better stay out there.
Keep
better be a legend
checks
at the bank than on the field.
Shout out to Jalen Rose. Is Paul Pierce number one, like the first pick in the keep getting them checks draft? Nah, it gotta be Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, cause Gilbert Arenas ain't even in the league and he's still getting these checks.
Is he still getting his checks? Is he still getting them checks?
Still getting these checks. If anything, he probably just stopped getting these checks. And when was the last time people hear about Gilbert Arenas? But
Instagram
I think we can move on now into the NBA awards. Like us here at Off the Bench Radio, we want to let y'all know how we feel about these picks that gonna be coming up. So we're gonna run through each of us giving our take on these spots. And maybe a small talk about why. So we're gonna open out, start a little slow. Defensive Player of the Year. Who's your pick?
This was the hardest for me because we see people talking about Whiteside and Paul Millsap has been getting some love because of the defensive win shares and the statistics revolution that we've been experiencing. So he's been getting a lot of publicity. But my Defensive Player of the Year is the guy from San Antonio who never speaks. One Kawhi Leonard, back to back, like Jordan 96, 97.
That's my pick too, Kawhi Leonard. Like, I understand all these other dudes out here playing good and, Karl Anthony Towns on the way up and all this other stuff happening, but you need me to go out there and stop somebody? Yeah, I'm going to just look at Kawhi. Kawhi, put them paws on this person. Yeah. And that's the end of it. Yeah. That's all you need to hear.
Him and my guy, Draymond Green. But Kawhi is the winner. Draymond will be second for me.
Rookie of the Year.
Obviously, it's the three named wonder hailing from Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns. Cat.
That's my vote too. Big up Karl Anthony Towns. He come from a Dominican background. If people don't even know, he from the Dominican Republic. He out here hitting trees, blocking people. He looks like the evolution even more than Anthony Davis.
He looks like KG. He look like KG with a remix.
That's what I said. The evolution of the players that we once thought was, damn, how could somebody be so big, so fast, and still like slender and stuff like that?
Skilled.
We got it even worse. They got his skill now.
He's a center catching rebounds, going coast to coast, and pulling up for three from a 6'11" player. My second place rookie of the year is Kristaps Porzingis. Mixtape.
Godzingis got to get that second spot. Most improved.
I like Winslow too for the rookie of the year, but he's not quite ready yet. But I'm confident that Pat Riley and the Miami Mafia will integrate Winslow some more. Most improved has to be C.J. McCollum for me, but I gotta show some love to my guy Giannis Antetokounmpo, and yes, I said his name correctly because he really is my guy. I'm about to order his jersey soon.
Pause.
Why? For saying my
That's
guy?
your guy.
Okay, pause. My guy, pause. It's my guy, pause. Antetokounmpo, pause.
Yeah. I actually have it flipped. I do have Antetokounmpo, a.k.a. the Greek Freak. I have him as my
you can't say his name?
Who? Antetokounmpo?
Many people can, I'm saying. Many people can't say his name.
A lot of people can. So they just see him and be like, oh, the Greek dude. But yeah, I have him and then CJ McCollum slightly because McCollum, I heard so much about him in college. I kind of knew his talent and he kind of showed flashes of it last year. But with Giannis, like, he ain't even doing what I thought they wanted him to do. Like, he playing point guard at times. Like, a 7-foot point guard. Like, no.
He's the nominal point guard in the Milwaukee Bucks offense. And if you've never seen a Bucks game, which is quite possible, seeing they don't get much national TV love as yet, you should take your time. I'm not encouraging you to go to one of these illegal sites that some of us may use, aka me. But and then like probably some FBI agent just listen to that and be like, Kurt, did you hear what he just said? Illegal sites. Yeah. Pirate Bay. Pirate Bay. We gotta send him a letter. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you going to a bar establishment and looking at the Bucks, because what Giannis is doing, I've never seen that since Pippen, right? 6'8", 6'9", point guard.
You step in and then dunking on the other team center.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of my favorite player of all time, Penny Hardaway, which was, in my opinion, the original point guard. The amalgamation of all the, footwork and hard work of the old school with a lot of the athleticism and flash of the new school. To me, Penny Hardaway was the father of the Westbrooks and the Derrick Roses that we're seeing. In my opinion, that's my favorite player.
Because even when people bring up Magic Johnson name in this argument, Magic Johnson didn't play the way that these guys played. So I still separate him from them. He was a big guard. He was like the first tall guard, but he played differently.
As a point guard.
Now we move on to sixth man of the year. Who you got?
Running through something like Lou Will. Not really. My sixth man of the year is Jamal Crawford, almost by default, really, because Will Barton could get some love too out of Nuggets, but they have one of the worst records in the West. And Andre Iguodala kinda, but he missed 18 games or 20 games. Now he missed 20 games this year, and I think that's too much. Whereas Jamal Crawford helped to steady the ship, whereas Blake Griffin himself missed about 30 to 35 games this year. And he was a big reason why the Clippers could maintain that fourth spot in the West. So I gave it to Crawford.
I gave it to Iguodala because I'm just tired of seeing Crawford winning this award. He shouldn't even be considered a sixth man because of the kind of minutes he started putting up after Blake Griffin went down.
But
he basically in the Manu Ginobili situation in which they are a starter, they just don't play the first 2 minutes.
We don't make the rules, we just follow them.
We're getting into the two big ones. Coach of the year, who you got?
My coach of the year, well, first of all, Greg Popovich is the coach of the year every year. I just thought I should throw that out there. All these other coaches, stop. But the thing is, coach of the year has turned into more of who overachieved this year with their team. And to fit that bracket is Dwayne Casey. That's my pick for coach of the year. I also have Steve Clifford up there and Terry Stotts.
I got Dwayne Casey. He been busy up there in Toronto with them dudes.
Yeah, they've been performing really well. I think he's integrated players very well this season with the off-season transactions that they've made. I think he's also improved Kyle Lowry's game, DeRozan's game. They've been playing some good basketball. Offensively, defensively, they're a good ball club. I know we said on the last pod, maybe 2 episodes ago, that we didn't have much faith in them, but they're a good team, and I hope they go far in the future. But how is it that people talking about Dwayne Casey's job being in jeopardy if he doesn't get out the first round again, though? How is that possible? Is it possible that if he doesn't get out the first round and he win coach of the year, that he get fired? So we have the second time in the last 5 years that a coach wins coach of the year. The first being
George Karl?
Yeah, George Karl, who, by the way, just got fired. Breaking news. No. Breaking news off the bench radio.
Yeah, George Karl is one of the person happy that he get fired. He happy. He ain't gonna deal with Sacramento. And he has a strong resume for this getting these checks award Hall of Fame. Because now he ain't coaching, but he getting paid. And he going back to ESPN to sit down in a chair. 2 paychecks, no jobs. That's a win.
# winning.
We're getting into the big one now. MVP. Who's your MVP?
Clearly it's Curry, right?
Yeah. Curry.
That's the end of the argument, yeah.
Curry's MVP, the numbers that he's putting out, the way that he's doing this it's unseen. We could talk about all these other guys. It's unseen. We haven't seen a player like this.
That's not even the word. Unseen is a mild. Is a mild.
That's the thing. Unseen means that at least somebody thought about it. This is unthinkable. Nobody thought this would be happening this way. Nobody's seen this to be happening this way. He's finishing at the rim better than LeBron James. He's shooting from the 3 better than people shoot from inside.
Anywhere.
Inside 15 feet. And he's doing all of this while playing 3 quarters. Because he doesn't play much in the 4th quarter.
At all.
He like seventh on the team with minutes. He doing this in a small window in which guys like him and my runner-up for MVP, Russell Westbrook, when you start putting these guys' numbers to 48 minutes, these guys' numbers don't look real. Like, they don't look real. Westbrook in 48 minutes, he averages 30 points, 10 assists,
about that,
and 9 rebounds. That's when they extrapolate the figures. But currently, so much guys are doing great in the league, but Curry out there, so you know it don't matter.
I know
it
that.
Doesn't matter. Kevin Durant balling, LeBron James balling, Marcus Cousins balling.
But yeah, Curry's on another level.
Balling, but you know it ain't matter because you know y'all ain't hitting these half-court shots and turning around
every other week. Every other week is a half-court shot. I know ESPN and so on and so forth has been on the Curry love train, and rightfully so. But let's think about what he's doing, people. Let's consider he's averaging 30 points per game, 90% from the free throw line, 45 meaning he just created a new tier for himself, 45% from 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it averaging 34 minutes per game. Now that's crazy, but think about his 3-point shooting. He hit 401 threes this season. He set the record earlier this season for 300. Curry really is out here murdering the competition. Shout out to Funeral Fab. Murdering them. It's not even close.
He just out here showing people like this is the evolution of basketball.
He's breaking it.
Yeah.
He's breaking basketball. He averages 2.1 steals too. So
even the knock on his defense, you can't even make the argument no because no, he like, okay,
he leads
I
the
can't
NBA.
play defense, I'm gonna just take the ball from you.
Yeah, he leads the NBA. Curry has to be number 1. My number 2 is LeBron James, even though you could put Westbrook there. Yeah. And Westbrook is I can't knock Westbrook being the number. You know, he's Mr. Triple-Double with assists. And he's been playing excellent.
Now, most of the guys we just named gonna be performing in the playoffs. Now, all y'all got the internet. Do your Googles. See who is in the playoffs if you haven't seen as yet. But what I'm interested in with you, who is your sleepers? Like your any sleepers and your upsets. Not so much the predictions, but any sleepers or like interesting matchups you see in the playoffs?
Interesting matchup. The first one is Cleveland-Detroit 1-8 in the East. Mm-hmm. Look out for that. Because, Cleveland got the number 1 seed convincingly. Yes, they have one of the best players in the world in LeBron James. One of the better point guards in the league. Well, maybe not. He's not a point guard in Kyrie Irving, but that's a different topic. And one of the better forwards in Kevin Love. However, that Detroit team is built just like that 2011 Magic team. They're tough, they're tenacious, they're nasty. They have a good coach, one of the best coach in the NBA, Stan Van Gundy, SVG. Shout out to him.
You got a dude who could get you 15 and 15, Drummond.
He can give you 15 and 20, easy too. Easy. He's an NBA rebounding champ, but that could pose a problem to the Cavs. I still think they'll win 4-1. That's I think they will do. But if it turns on their heels and we see like a Game 7 situation, I wouldn't be surprised.
I ain't see that going. I see 4-1, and I see that one being like a really tough game. LeBron gonna squash them dudes. Like y'all know, I ain't even a LeBron fan, but the way that he's been playing, he's squashing them dudes. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm kind of interested, not even so much in the first round matchup, because when I look at the first round, the one I really like to see is the Clippers and Portland.
Yeah, that's my second pick.
Because I feel like that's a very exciting, like really exciting matchup.
Uh-huh.
But in the second round, I have the Heat beating Hornets and I have Toronto beating the Pacers. So the Heat against the Raptors, I think gonna be really, really interesting. Depending on where it goes, I have that to be a 6-game series, but I still don't know to who. I'm leaning more to Miami because, you know, we out here in Miami. Shout out to all the Miami fans, you know. 305, Dade County, all y'all, straight up to Fort Lauderdale.
Kodak Black,
But
shout out to him.
I ain't shouting no Kodak Black. Kodak Black, I shout him out. I can't go certain places no more.
You revoke your pass.
Yeah, like, you good, bro. That's all I can say. You good. But Miami against Toronto, that gonna be a really nice matchup. I see it going 6 to 7 games. It depends so much on Dwayne Wade. I feel like Joe Johnson will be playing good. He has changed Miami since he got there, but Dwayne Wade is one of the best shooting guards when he's healthy.
I think he's the third best of all time, behind Kobe and Michael Jordan. Actually, Dwayne Wade is. That's a different story, though.
I actually support that argument, but you know my thing. I don't talk about dudes with the legacy while they're still playing. Yeah,
it's true.
When he retires, I'll be like, yeah, he right behind Kobe, like right behind Kobe.
Still put on the best final performance I've ever seen in my life, averaging 38 points per game. I think it was in 2006.
Yeah, over Dallas, and then Dirk Nowitzki came back with the juice and said, you know what, LeBron, I'm gonna show you what happened to me.
He put the sauce on them. Like he put the fear of God on them.
Yep.
But, yeah, I think that Clippers Portland series would be interesting as well. Look out for my trash Houston Rockets.
I actually think
to get swept. In Golden State. I know all the pundits talking about you never know with this Houston team. You know, Dwight Howard and James Harden and Corey. No. Stop it, people. It's not happening. We're going to get swept maybe 4-1. And in the game that we win, Harden's going to have to score 50. Which he can do quite easily, actually. And that's going to be it.
Because quietly, people don't even pay attention. James Harden ain't averaging like 29 points per game this league. Yeah.
He's been balling. But
you know, Curry out here, so, you know, that don't matter.
Yeah. And my Rockets have been thoroughly disappointing this season. Like, thoroughly. They've face planted, they've nosedived, they've poo-pooed the bed in every single way. Let's change topics. I'm here rubbing my forehead now. I'm in pain. It's too painful.
We can talk about something that's fun, you know, something that's fun or something that's dumb. Because that's what I think. So now the NBA owners, they were at their Board of Governors meeting this week in New York, and they're expected to approve placing patches with advertisements on jerseys starting the 2017-2018 season. Now, this is something that we've heard rumored around because, you know, it includes money. And, you know, don't matter what league you're in, they're out here for this money, no matter what. So the NBA has always been saying that, you know, they're paying attention to how football, like, you know, real football, we actually use foot, how the jerseys have ads and you could sell the ad space to sponsors. And, you know, the way how NASCAR has spots even onto the driver's jacket. You could sell sponsorship and logos places. So, how do you feel about this? Because, honestly, even when they tried it in the All-Star game with, like, the little Kia patches, like, people could tell. People could see, and we could tell, and we looked at it and we're like, we understand Kia is a sponsor, but, like, why they're on the jerseys?
Well, it's an interesting question, right? And we've been hearing this bubbling for a number of years now. It's just coming to fruition starting in next year's season. Rather, not next year's season, but the one after that. So 2 seasons from now. But advertising on NBA jerseys has really been in works for years. And think about it, just from a logical standpoint. A jersey is the prime real estate, right? That's how you identify teams, their jersey. That's what you rock when you're going to that party with the side piece, the jersey, and the scully. That's their most identifiable trait. The NBA has a unique game in that the stars are very accessible as opposed to NASCAR, as opposed to the NFL, and as opposed to football, and I'm talking about European football and how it's treated. So this has been coming down the pipeline for a long time. Some people think that jerseys are ugly, and then it doesn't look well, it doesn't look good. I'm talking like my English teacher.
I'm one of them. Like,
but we're gonna get accustomed to it. And it's only supposed to be like a little patch. It's not going to be littered and covered like one of the... Remember like 05 and 06 and 03 really. They used to have those NBA logos starter jackets with no people is not going to look like that. You're not going to have 72 logos on your Jeff Green jersey, for those of you who have those.
But this is the thing. This is why I don't trust any of these leagues, because if you start telling these companies that they're throwing millions for these patches, what is really going to stop them from... You're going to get weird sponsors. There are 30 NBA teams. Even when you look at the arena names, you know what the New Orleans Pelicans playing? The
Smoothie King Center.
So imagine you going out to watch this game and you say, yeah, go Pelicans, and you look down on the jersey and see a patch with a giant smoothie on it. You go and you go to watch a game with the Brooklyn Nets and you see $5 footlongs on the side. No.
Whoa, pause.
Hey, ain't like the Nets ain't used to stuff like that, you know. They've been gentrified enough.
All those people listening at the New Jersey Nets, at the Brooklyn Nets PR office, do not call me, call him.
Don't call me.
Don't call me. I'm not getting between
stadium into Brooklyn, you change the landscape of Brooklyn, you're gentrifying the neighborhood. Now we're gonna put these trash ass logos on the jerseys. Hey.
What's the funniest company that you could imagine on a jersey, you think? That's the funniest.
A sunblock company for the Phoenix Suns. The Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets being sponsored by a weed farm or a provider of medical marijuana, you know?
Easy skanking. Hey, easy skanking.
Look at the Lakers, the Staples Center. People so used to call it the Staples Center. You do understand the Staples Center is like Staples. Like the company makes stapling machines and stationery.
You don't say. The people who don't realize that? Really?
Dog, people thought like Staples, the Staples Center, they just thought it's a staple of the community and is where all this great things come together. No, it's sponsored by Staples.
So coming soon to arena near you, the Radio Shack Heat or the Dunkin' Donuts Raptors.
You mean the Drake Raptors, the OVO Sound Raptors?
The OVO Sound Raptors. Yo, how much you think it costs to get the Off the Bench logo on one of these jerseys?
Who paying for it? I still in college.
Me too, but I mean, after we swim out this oasis of student debt, we probably could consider it. I mean,
I know about you.
We only like $3.5 billion
student
in
debt,
the red.
For me, student debt coincides with debt. That's the only way I lose in mine. Like.
DEATH. Student debt.
Hey, before I hop in the coffin, the last check gonna bounce. I ain't know about you.
Yo, you saw that meme? I saw this meme this week, like with Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants sleeping. It was like when you see somebody, when you hear somebody downstairs breaking in, but if you die, you won't have to pay off these student loans. That's exactly how I feel. We're gonna share that on our page at Off the Bench Radio.
Now, I want to get into something that people might see a little bit nerdy, but I find very interesting in superhero movies.
Superhero movies.
Yes, because we've had, the superhero movies are now the mass media consume stuff. They're not the little niche market they once were.
Right.
In that we've always got like these superhero movies like Spider-Man and stuff like that. And there was always this formula to it, which was, an origin backstory. This person, he gets powers. He learns how to use powers. A villain gets powers. They fight. Eventually,
while you wake
hero
up,
wins. And that's the end, It just moves on. Rinse and repeat for 2. Rinse and repeat again for 3.
Yeah, and 4. So about the time when you wake up halfway through the movie after you remove the nyampi, ding! That's triple. We're tripling up on the SK word of the day, the nyampi. That's how you spell nyampi, dog? Nyampi.
Exactly how it sounds.
Yeah, so we spell nyampi.
Yeah, for all the Haitians and the Lucians and stuff out there.
They say that on
class.
What is it?
Class. It's called the class.
Like
I went to
class,
class
like
out.
see, like you
Like
go to class.
KRASS.
Oh, crass. Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right. So the yeah,
Did you?
that's what we
Guy out
say.
here speaking Creole.
Can't hold back on my Haitian. Cause
Hey.
shout out to Rickwa. But yeah, when you wipe the Nampi out your eye, halfway through the movie, from sleeping, it'll be boring. But we've seen an uptick in these movies. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice just dropped last month. Captain America is coming out this year. X-Men Apocalypse is dropping this year.
The game-changing movie was Deadpool.
Right. Epic.
Deadpool saw like this, because this is the thing with DC usually, you know, for the live action movies, they throw it out, you know, you enjoy it and stuff like that. But the real creativity comes out in the animated movies. But then Marvel say, you know what? Deadpool, because of the way that it came out, they were against Deadpool. Is the actors and the directors themselves started leaking trailers. So the people just tell Marvel, hey, you have to give us this movie. And Deadpool is this rated R movie out there.
The highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
Yes. So like, this thing just changed the game, and now we have Suicide Squad following right up, which is like, yo, like we understand these are the rules we used to have, but we're gonna do a movie not about superheroes now. We're gonna talk about the supervillains.
Yo,
and I think
greatness.
it is great. You actually, because people don't understand, like a supervillain don't think that they're a villain. They don't think that they're doing the wrong thing. They think they're doing the right thing. They think, how much times you think Lex Luthor looking around like, why y'all hate me? This dude is an alien, come here trying to say he's saving shit. Like, we got police already. Like, we can handle these problems.
You're about to say Lex Luger, right? Shout out to Lex Luger, whoever the hell he is. If you don't catch it, then you'll never catch it again.
Hey, y'all looking for Lex Luger? Just go listen Flaccovelli. Listen Flaccovelli.
We should get that as an intro to our pod. Off the bench radio.
You better go pay Lex Luger.
we could get this Ponzi scheme going. Here comes the FBI guy talking about Claude. You're talking about Ponzi schemes on the pod. You're talking about no, not your aunt. Ponzi schemes. Yeah, that's what the white guy that's in the FBI listening to this is gonna say.
I don't know, I ain't playing with these FBI dudes, but I think time for us to close this one out. Any small minor shout outs, Jebby?
Yeah, I got a shout out Dijua dropping. That's a SK reggae artist dropping a classic last week with the Love Potion. So you could hit that up on YouTube. No, he's not paying us. We're just fans of greatness and we're fans of great music. So hit that up on the YouTubes at Dejour. That's DEJOUR, Love Potion. Once again, that's Dejour, DEJOUR. So it's a great song. And I won't get into too much about it because we're not going to do any analysis or whatnot. Just search it. Just search for it on the YouTube.
Search it up. The best way to explain it is this poem. She front yard, wet, the pipe, bus.
So
and she wants you to cork it.
Shout out Dijour, yeah, shout out on the pod. DEJOUR, aka OUR, gonna catch mad feelings if you're quote unquote mutual friends in boxes. Your girl this, or OUR gonna use this on your side piece to Jackie Robinson slide all the way from first to home. OUR gonna use this to replace, Ludacris's Splash Waterfalls. We're doubling down on the water on double entendres.
Hey, don't even ask us how. But everybody, you could hit us up social media. Y'all know where to find us. We're on the IG, we're on the Twitter, Off the Bench 100, because that's how we keep it.
Yup.
Facebook. And I persuade y'all to please visit us, OffTheBenchRadio.com. You can now meet the team. You can see the people that definitely have so much input and impact on this show. Every episode, shout out Patrick, shout out Oren, shout out Kazi. We will be having them and more of our affiliates helping us out. We're going to be starting out.
This is the last time we showed y'all out, by the way. So don't expect it again.
You tell them that.
I just did. I just did. I'm getting on my Grinch-ish all the way in April.
I guess Off the Bench going soon to be a solo show featuring our producer.
Yeah.
Hey,
So hit us up at OffTheBenchRadio.com. Log on.
Mamba out.
Mamba out. Off the Bench Radio.